Hey guys, Future Infamous here saying that I was trying to call Deku Izuku in this what if, but I was struggling, so I'm sorry I'm making mistakes. But now that I've mentioned already, let's start this video. Hey guys, Infamous Small here with a brand new what if, called What If Kacchan was Izuku's sister. Before I start, let me explain, this is my first video with a script. So if this video is a little short, then I'm sorry cause I'm trying to figure out how long my script should be, so I can have 15 minutes of content, so be patient. While I figure this out, don't forget that you may be asking, dang it, well I figured this out, but forget that for now. I made a lot of errors in my script, dang it. You may be asking, why am I doing this what if, and why is Kacchan a girl? Well, let me explain. I always wanted to do what if Izuku and Kacchan were siblings, but then I had a dream where Kacchan was Izuku's sister, and all the jokes of people calling Deku his sis when protecting her from other pervs. Kacchan's scared we're girls. She knows how mean they are, how mean girls are to people, and doesn't want Deku to get his heart broken. That's basically my only reason. And by the way, Yuzo's gonna have a quirkiness what if, which is gonna be 5-man position and all for one. I mean, one for all. Now you may be asking, why is Deku getting 2 quirks? I'm gonna explain that later in the video. But before we start, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, don't forget to check out my Discord, Instagram, and gaming channel in the description below. But now that's out of the way, let's start this what if. So when Inko was only 26, she got pregnant with Deku, and when Sleek was only 28, she got pregnant too. They were both so happy since they got pregnant around the same time. Sadly, that joy wouldn't last long, since in a couple of months later, both of their husbands got into a horrible accident and sadly perished. And because of this, both Izuku and Baku will grow up well with their fathers, but they will still have parents, because since both Inku and Mystic cousin died, they had to rely on each other, and then they started to gain feelings for each other. But nothing would happen until 4 years later, because both Deku and Kacchan, 4 years old, when they both go to their room where Inku and Mystic told Izuku about their relationship, and now Izuku and Baku are going to be siblings. As soon as Izuku heard this, he thought, this is amazing, that him and Kacchan are going to be siblings. He was so angry, saying she doesn't want to be related to a crybaby like Izuku. As soon as Deku heard this, he started crying because Mystique smacked Bakugo and tried to calm Deku. But Deku sobbing said thank you Miss Bakugo, but Mystique then said, honey, you don't need to call me that if you don't want to. Izuku seemed confused and asked what she meant. She responded saying, then if you want you can call her mommy too, which Inko responded saying, call her something normal, like mother, which Mystique laughed. Now let's skip 1 year into the future. Now that I'm reading this, I made a lot of mistakes. Dang it. Where Izuku and Kacchan found out about their quirk, where Izuku got his combination of his parents' quirk, by mission where Izuku can shoot fire from his mouth, can also control his own fire, and nearby fire due to Inko's telekinesis. And Baku got his explosion quirk like in the original. So as they went back to school, they all started praising him, saying they had such cool quirks. While Baku was making sparks and Izuku was making a small flame from his mouth. Then the teacher mentioned how Izuku and Baku are perfect for each other. Izuku's quirks are perfect for each other. Since Izuku can control fire from Baku's explosion, Izuku can control the flames and surround Kacchan with it to make her hotter so Baku can sweat more, creating more explosions. Now Baku was still getting used to having brother, so she didn't really like the idea. But if her mom found out she was bullying her brother, she would get into trouble, and to be honest, she kinda likes how happy Izuku was. So she doesn't have to really say anything. But now we have another time skip. This time time skip is the beginning of the anime, where Izuku and Kacchan are talking about going to UA. When the teacher walks in with a bunch of papers saying that everybody passed, that he could pass out a form to decide your future. But you can already tell that everybody wants to be a hero. As soon as the teacher said this, people started cheering using quirks, but as soon as they started cheering, Kacchan caused a small explosion and said, come on, teach! Why am I doing such a deep voice? I don't know how to do a voice for her. Come on, teach. Not like these losers can become pros. They'll be probably lucky to become psychic to some key class. Then claimed the only people who are going to become heroes are her and her brother Izuku. In his future, Izuku is Kacchan's brother and has a quirk, so he's treated much better in this thing called Deku. So I call him Deku, it's not an accident. But like I was saying, Kacchan claimed the only person that are getting to UA is her and her brother. She's screaming this. Deku tells her to calm down, to be nice. This makes everybody ask the most famous question in their school. How can such a nice guy relate to such a mean girl? But after Izuku calmed her down, they both left to go home. But this time, unlike most times, Kacchan claimed that she needs to go to the store instead of walking with him, and tells their mom that she'd be home late. But on his way home, Izuku gets attacked by the Sludge villain. Out of fear, he starts breathing fire, trying to get out the sludge, causing nearby trees to burn down before he could get hurt. He hears a voice to calm down, young boy. Then he hears the choice smash. The fire goes out, the Sludge villain gets knocked out. After a few minutes, he wakes up and he sees All Might, which makes him fanboy little. He then asks All Might for an autograph, but All Might said, "Already done, young boy." She gets ready to leave, as he gets ready to leave with the Sludge villain. But before Mike can leave, Izuku realizes something and grabs onto All Might. After a few minutes, he wakes up and sees All Might, which makes him fanboy little. He then asks All Might for an autograph. All Might said, "Already done, young boy." So he has to leave with the Sludge villain. But before All Might leaves, Izuku realizes something. He grabs onto All Might. Then as All Might says Izuku saw Izuku, he was surprised, almost pushes him off, until realizing that if he did, he would probably die. So All Might then ended up asking what he was thinking. That's when Deku asked him a question, that if he can sign something for his sister. All Might thought to himself, what brother would risk his life for give her their sister? But All Might quickly signed it and jumped away before his time limit up. Now Izuku is extra happy, because now he has a signature for him, and now for his sister. But before he could start to go home, he hears an explosion, and as soon as Izuku saw the explosion, he thought to himself, that couldn't be kacchan. So Izuku decided to run to explosion and fire. But the minute he got there, he was terrified to see that his sister was being choked by the villain. Remember how he felt when the Sludge villain had him, and he felt so horrible that his sister was feeling the same way, but All Might couldn't stop the Sludge villain this time, because he used his time limit, so All Might was forced to just stand there and let the young girl struggle to fight back. But something else happened. So Izuku was watching, he noticed that each one of the heroes not being able to save kacchan, so other explosion causing massive amounts of fire. The heroes couldn't get near her. So he decided to say screw it and ran past the crowd and to the fire. So he tried to run into the fire. The surgeon saw Deku and said, "Oh well, if it isn't you again, but this time I'm gonna kill you." But as soon as the surgeon tried to throw an explosion, he saw a massive ball of fire hit him in the eye, temporarily blinding him. While he was being blinded, Izuku jumped on Sludge and tried to rip kacchan out his hand, but he isn't fast enough. So the Sludge villain throws him off and tries to kill him. Before he could, he heard, "Don't worry, cause I'm here." And then saying, All Might punched the villain so hard that the weather changed, jaws dropped, that All Might changed the weather for a punch. But that soon changed, with everybody either checking up on kacchan or scolding Izuku. But as soon as kacchan got back up, she decided to smack Izuku on the head. And was like, what the hell was he thinking? Talking about if he died, that their moms would probably kill her. As soon as the heroes started, they asked if they knew each other. Izuku explained how they were siblings, so after the heroes heard this, they decided not to get Izuku into much trouble. So it must have been hard to watch his sister suffer like that. Let them go home after they both checked to see if they had any injuries. But as soon as they got home, they were both hugged by Inko, while she cried and said she's so happy they were both safe and unharmed. But Izuku got slapped on the back of the head, and Mystique was screaming, saying that Izuku shouldn't have ran into the fire, that the heroes handled it, and how kacchan shouldn't have let herself get captured, cause a huge fire and a bunch of explosions could have killed Izuku. After a little while, Inko finally calmed down, while Mystique was screaming, saying that Izuku shouldn't have entered fire if the heroes handled it, and how kacchan shouldn't have let herself get captured and caused a huge fire and a bunch of explosions that could have killed Izuku. After a little while, Inko was finally calming her down. Izuku and kacchan went to their rooms. But after an hour, kacchan goes to Izuku's room, and said sorry. She confused him at first, until she explained that she shouldn't be mad at him, since she would probably do the same if he was the one being used as a hostage. But then saying how she wouldn't have struggled, that she's way stronger than him. She got Izuku to laugh. Then as kacchan told him to stop. But soon kacchan told him to stop, and told him to wake up early after hearing this. Izuku was confused, and asked why he wanted him to wake up earlier tomorrow. She was saying, I'm going to be the one hero and you're going to be my sidekick. We need to train against UA. Which made Izuku question, why the hell would I be your sidekick? which made kacchan just respond saying, "Because you're my little brother," which made Izuku remind her that she's only older by 1 month. Kacchan already left her room, so she can sleep and wake up early tomorrow. After they had a well-rested sleep, they decided to go for a run, but they ate breakfast in Inkomate before and asked Mistake if they can be ungrounded. So they train. Izuku asked kacchan just left, but after Izuku asked permission, they first started to jog, but soon stopped by a nearby beach. There's a bunch of trash. When Deku asked why they were here, she said that they were going to clean the beach so they could get some muscle and do some good at the same time. Izuku said sure, but he's pretty sure she needs to work out more while poking at her gut, which made kacchan a little pissed until she started breaking stuff so that they're not as heavy and easier to move. What they don't know, that nearby a skeleton-looking man is walking by, sees 2 young siblings. He decides to watch a little, warning himself. First you rush into danger and save your sister, then you begin to clean the beach with her. And Wade asks himself, are you just a good brother or a true hero? Either way, I hope we both go to UA. Remember, you can get my quirk. Maybe you can get my quirk. Maybe you can get my quirk, but we will see in the future. Slowly begins to walk away. Still looks at creation on my used to be, and kacchan asked what he was looking at, which Izuku responded saying he felt like something was washing, but they both decided to shrug it off and decided to continue cleaning the beach. But now we have another time skip. Unlike the last one, this one is only 8 months. So after 8 months of training, both Izuku and kacchan have gained some muscles. But Izuku isn't as buff since he had a different training regimen and didn't push himself to the limit. Since Izuku knows that if he got himself hurt, kacchan would probably be angry and easy to keep her happy and thinking of an angry kacchan. After they finished working out, they tried to go to the UA entrance exam. As soon as they got there, Izuku was a little worried since he can only do so much since he only breathes fire. But that won't do much against defensive enemies or people with long distance quirk. Since kacchan knows that her quirk can cause massive damage, she isn't worried. Because she knows she can easily destroy any mini enemy they go up. But after they start to walk into the building, it's a good trip, and before kacchan can try to catch him, Erika shows up and catches him, saying that she hopes he doesn't mind her using her quirk on him. Izuku gets all flustered and says it's okay. He introduces himself and his sister. Erika introduces herself. But as soon as she leaves, kacchan tells Izuku that if he's into her, he should just ask her out. Izuku starts to freak out and get flustered, and asking what the hell is she talking about, which kacchan just responded saying that it's pretty obvious from just how you're acting. Izuku just decided to avoid the subject, decided to go inside to take his test. But this skip is getting a bit long, so I'm going to end the video here, but don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, so check out my Discord and my gaming channel in the description below. Also, please tell me if there are any what ifs you have in the comments below. Also, I made a lot of errors in my script. I'm gonna have to triple check it. I thought I double checked already, but I made a mistake, so there'll be a lot of editing. But I'm sorry, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So peace out, and bye.